Have you ever walked past a parked car, stopped dead in your tracks, and thought, what on earth is that and how do I get the keys? Welcome back to Crownline Reviews, everyone. Today we are looking at a vehicle that does not just want to drive on the road, it wants to completely own the road. This is the 2026 BYD Sealion 8, and it is an absolute monster of a family SUV. If you thought the world of electric and hybrid family haulers was getting a little bit boring and predictable, you might want to grab a snack and settle in. This big blue machine is here to shake things up, and it is doing it with a level of confidence we have rarely seen. Let us start by just taking in the sheer, undeniable presence of this vehicle. Look at this deep metallic ocean blue paint shining under the city sky. In the shadows of these tall glass buildings, it looks almost like a dark, stealthy navy, but the second the sunlight hits those sharp body lines, it sparkles with an incredible, rich brightness. It is the kind of color that makes you want to walk right up and run your hand along the hood. But the real showstopper, the thing that makes everyone turn their heads, is right here at the front. BYD has completely thrown out the traditional rulebook for what a front grille is supposed to look like. Instead of just a boring piece of black plastic to let air into the engine, they have turned the entire front end into a high-tech futuristic light show. Look closely at those cascading, illuminated horizontal lines pointing right toward the center. They frame that massive, glowing BYD logo perfectly, making the car look like it is breathing light. And then you have these incredibly sharp, vertical LED daytime running lights slicing down the outer edges of the bumper. When you see this car coming up behind you in your rearview mirror at night, it looks like a futuristic fortress on wheels. It is intimidating, it is bold, and it is utterly unique. Moving down the side profile, you simply cannot ignore the commanding stance of the Sealion 8. It sits high and proud, featuring a very boxy, upright silhouette that reminds you of classic, tough off-roaders, but it has been smoothed out and refined for the modern era. Check out these wheels. They are massive, dark-finished, multi-spoke alloys that fill up those flared, muscular wheel arches with absolute perfection. Tucked just behind those thick spokes, you can catch a glimpse of the heavy-duty brake calipers, finished in a subtle dark tone that means serious business. It is a design that balances rugged capability with high-end street style. But here is the part that really surprised me when I first walked up to the car today. Look at the tires wrapped around those beautiful wheels. These are not your standard, quiet, smooth-rolling highway tires that you find on most luxury SUVs. These are chunky, aggressive, all-terrain tires with deep treads. It is a fascinating and bold choice for a premium family vehicle. It tells you that while this car looks beautiful parked in front of a modern glass skyscraper, it is wearing the heavy boots required to go get muddy on a weekend camping trip. You also have these sleek, flush door handles that pop out smoothly when you unlock the car, keeping the side profile incredibly clean and aerodynamic. To truly understand why the Sealion 8 is such a massive deal for the automotive world, we have to look back at where the BYD brand came from. Just a decade ago, most people only knew them as a company that manufactured the batteries inside your cell phones and laptops. Then, they started making small, very affordable, and somewhat basic electric cars. They eventually launched their Ocean series with cute, friendly names like the Dolphin and the Seal, which were fantastic, sensible cars for everyday people. But the Sealion 8 represents a monumental leap forward in their legacy. It is the evolution of a brand that is no longer just trying to compete in the market, they are actively trying to dominate it. They took the smooth, flowing aquatic themes of their earlier cars and injected them with a serious dose of muscle and attitude. The original BYD Seal was a sleek, fast little swimmer. The Sealion 8 is the undisputed apex predator of the ocean. It fixes the biggest complaint that car enthusiasts had about earlier BYD models, which was that they sometimes felt a little too safe, a little too generic in their exterior design. There is absolutely nothing generic about this vehicle. It proves that BYD can build a flagship SUV that stands toe-to-toe with the biggest luxury brands from Europe and America, while still keeping its own unique identity. Now let us imagine stepping inside, because the interior of this beast is just as wild and impressive as the outside. When you pull that flush handle and open the heavy, solid door, you are instantly greeted by the rich smell of premium materials. It feels less like a car cabin and more like a first-class airport lounge. BYD has been putting massive, rotating touchscreens in their cars for a while now, and the Sealion 8 takes that signature tech to the next level. You have a crystal-clear screen the size of a small television right in the middle of the dashboard, controlling everything from your navigation routes to your multi-zone climate control. But what I truly love is that despite all the glowing screens and futuristic tech, they have kept the materials feeling very warm, inviting, and human. You are surrounded by soft, premium synthetic leathers, beautiful contrast stitching, and soft ambient lighting that you can change to match your exact mood. It is incredibly spacious, too. Whether you are a tall adult sitting in the front driver's seat or a couple of energetic kids bouncing around in the back row, there is plenty of room for everyone to stretch out and relax. It is the kind of luxurious interior where you could happily sit for a 5-hour family road trip and step out at your destination feeling completely refreshed. What actually happens when you press the start button and put this giant machine into gear? The Sealion 8 is not just a pretty face, it packs a very serious punch under the hood. While BYD offers a few different setups globally, the model we are looking at features their top-tier plug-in hybrid system. For those who might not know, this means you get a powerful, silent electric motor paired with a highly efficient traditional gas engine. They work together seamlessly. Combined, you are looking at well over 500 horsepower. For a vehicle this large and heavy, that massive number is not just for showing off to your friends, it is absolutely necessary to get this much metal moving. When you put your foot down on the accelerator, this giant blue box surges forward with a smooth, relentless wave of power. It will push you back into your plush leather seat in a way that makes you giggle, especially when you remember you are driving a practical family SUV. But because it is a plug-in hybrid, you also get the incredible benefit of driving on pure, silent electricity for your daily errands. You can drop the kids at school, drive to the grocery store, and commute to work without ever waking up the gas engine or spending a drop of fuel. It gives you the best of both worlds, electric efficiency for the city and gas-powered range for long road trips. Though how does it actually feel out here on the real roads? This is where the Sealion 8 really surprised me the most. You look at those chunky, aggressive off-road tires in that tall, boxy shape, and you naturally expect it to drive like a heavy, bouncy tractor. But it absolutely does not. The suspension system underneath this car is incredibly clever and highly advanced. It soaks up deep potholes, annoying speed bumps, and rough, broken city streets like they are not even there. It truly feels like you are gliding down the road on a thick, comfortable cloud. The steering wheel feels wonderful in your hands, and the steering itself is very light. This makes maneuvering this giant vehicle in tight, crowded supermarket parking lots surprisingly easy. You can turn the wheel with just one finger while looking through the high-definition cameras. However, there's a natural trade-off for all this comfort. Because the steering is so light and the suspension is so soft, you do not get a lot of physical feedback from the road surface. If you are the kind of enthusiastic driver who loves to take sharp corners fast and feel every single pebble under the tires, this might not be the perfect car for you. It leans a bit when you go around a sharp turn, gently reminding you that you are commanding a very heavy, tall machine. Let me stop for a second and ask you guys watching right now. How many of you actually take your big, expensive SUVs off-road into the mud and rocks? Be completely honest down in the comments below. Because I look at this car with its tough stance and all-terrain tires, and I know that most of these will spend their entire lives navigating suburban neighborhoods and school drop-off zones. And you know what? That is perfectly fine. We buy cars like this for the feeling of absolute safety, for the commanding, high-up view of the road ahead, and for the comforting knowledge that if it snows heavily, we can still get home safely. Living with the Sealion 8 day to day brings up some real-world realities that we need to talk about honestly. First and foremost is the sheer size of the thing. This is a very big vehicle. Finding a suitable parking spot in a crowded, historic city center is going to require some patience and skill. You will be relying heavily on the brilliant 360-degree camera system to make sure you do not accidentally scrape those beautiful, dark alloy wheels on a hidden curb. You have to be mindful of low parking garages and tight drive-through lanes. It demands a little bit more attention than driving a compact hatchback. And there's the reality of the running costs. If you're diligent and plug it in every single night at your house, your daily commute will cost you mere pennies in electricity. But if you take it on a long, cross-country road trip and rely solely on the gas engine, you have to remember the physics of pushing a heavy, boxy shape through the wind. The fuel economy on the highway is decent for its size, but it is not going to break any world records for efficiency. On the plus side, reliability with BYD has been very strong in recent years. Their proprietary battery technology is widely considered some of the safest and best in the entire world, which should give you a lot of peace of mind if you plan to keep this car for a decade. I want to talk directly to the parents watching this video right now. You know the absolute struggle of trying to get grumpy kids, heavy groceries, bulky backpacks, and maybe a wet dog into a car while it is pouring rain outside. The Sealion 8 is designed to make that daily chaos just a little bit easier to handle. The rear doors open incredibly wide. The ride height is just right for sliding a heavy child seat in without hurting your lower back, and the trunk space is simply massive. It is a car that actively works with your family's busy lifestyle, rather than fighting against it. So we finally come to the verdict. Who is the 2026 BYD Sealion 8 actually built for, and who should probably look elsewhere? If you're looking for a sporty, nimble, lightweight SUV to carve up twisty mountain roads on a Sunday morning, you should definitely look at other options. This is not a sports car on stilts, and it never pretends to be. It is heavy, it is soft, and it prioritizes comfort above all else. If you want razor-sharp handling, there are German competitors that do that much better. If you want a vehicle that makes a massive, undeniable statement every time you pull up to a stoplight, this is it. If you want an SUV that wraps your entire family in quiet, high-tech luxury, and that gives you the brilliant flexibility of cheap electric driving with the stress-free backup of a gas engine, this is a phenomenal choice. It is bold, it is incredibly comfortable, and it proves once and for all that BYD is not afraid to take big, exciting risks with their designs. They have built a true flagship that demands respect. Thank you so much for joining me today on Crownline Reviews. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the massive Sealion 8, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our future videos. We absolutely love bringing you these honest, real-world looks at the cars you actually care about. Let me know your thoughts on that crazy front grille in the comments. Until next time, remember, the best car in the world isn't the fastest and it isn't the most expensive. It's the one that makes you look back at it every single time you walk away. Take care, everyone, and drive safe.